I'm seeing 3 bards. Oh no. Yeah, we're in Dancer Central right now. We're in Dancer Central. I wish you couldn't copy Todd. Yeah, that would it would make you worse, but also more fun. I mean, you can choose to not copy Todd. I'm the fun police. There's always this feeling in my head if you're committing to 5 turns of no second dancer, or in my case, no third dancer. Smiley face. Okay, genuine question. At what point do dancers start having diminishing returns? I mean, that depends on your deployment slots. Honestly, probably 3. Like, I think the third dancer is probably a bit of diminishing returns, but it's funnier. You know? And sometimes funnier is better. True, I guess. Like, this is a turn your brain off playthrough. Is the other thing that's important to remember. I think dancers get better the more distinct your army is. Yeah, and you know, in ROM hacks like this, the army is very distinct. A dancer is better than your 13th best combat unit, but in FE7 or 8, your 13th best combat unit still steamrolls. That stops being true. Well, in FE7 and 8, well, FE7, you don't get to deploy your 13th best combat unit. But I also disagree with the idea that it's not true in those games. I think even when you've got juggernauts, at a certain point... What the fuck? At a certain point? Like, what is a 13th juggernaut adding? You don't need to juggernaut 13 different areas of the map. Right? The main purpose of having multiple juggernauts is being able to sort of spread out and juggernaut multiple areas, but at 13... Oh, my convoy's full. My convoy's full! Oh, no! I mean, look at this dancer utility. My convoy is full, but dancers don't need inventory items. So they can just hold stuff and be a pseudo convoy. That's stronger than a juggernaut. I think dancers tend to be better in games where the unit you dance for can have huge implications. That's why Azura is so good, right? Because dancing for Camilla is such a big deal. Shelter strats aren't that difficult. Yeah, but I maybe this is my Fate's hot take, but I think people overstate the importance of shelter strats for shelter singing. Don't get me wrong, it's powerful, but it's also like, it's action, it sends you action negative, right? So shelter singing, because it takes multiple people to get a dance that only affects one person, it's actually negative on your action economy. The reason it's good is because there are situations where Camilla's one action is worth however many you're spending to get an extra Camilla, or an extra, you know, insert unit here, right? I've said this for like years. And this is, again, I'm not saying shelter singing is bad or you should never do it, but the idea, because I've seen people say like, oh, with shelter singing, you can get like 4 dances per turn. But that is so action inefficient. That's why I buffed Azura. Good, she needed it. Dancers have been too weak for too long. Shelter dance gets expensive really quickly. Yeah, expensive in terms of the action economy, right? I gave Azura shelter. Holy shit, now she can shelter sing herself. Wait, now you get replicate on Azura, shelter sing with Azura. The new meta strategy. Reclass, have her marry Kaze, Reclass to Mechanist so you can get Shelter Sing. Forget Warp Sing with Witch. Just get Shelter Sing, smiley face. With Fates, I'm really noticing that there are some people who talk about Fire Emblem that don't play the game. I usually hate the "did you even play this" allegations, but there's definitely some times where I'm like, if someone gets something like factually incorrect and uses that to be the basis of their opinion, I'm like, are we even talking about the same game, right? I feel like people see Zoran do flashy builds and decide they must be incredible. It's sort of how the sort of, you know, efficiency discussion is so often people who are like, you know, Ross is a big exemplar of this, where people will see a flashy LTC strategy and then be like, that means that it's good in casual play. And like, there are some overlaps between casual and LTC stuff. The other thing though is so often it'll be a strategy that isn't even considered like a unit who's not even considered like great in LTC, but they'll be like, Ross water walks, therefore good. And it's like, well, no, actually, it's a reliability buffer on a singular map that you have to expend resources to get. Not actually considered by most LTCers to make Ross, like, good. It's just a niche that he has. Oh, do you have fucking Zanbato? You do. Okay. I heard this was worse than the Game FAQ Serenus Forest era. It was different. At that point, it was mostly people cosplaying as having done ranked runs in order to debate each other over, like, Benchwarmer number 7 versus Benchwarmer number 8. You know, Lot versus Wade type stuff. Coding End herself has said she doesn't think Nyx is that good, but people started rating her super highly after How to Train Your Nyx. That doesn't surprise me. I've seen people cite the Zoran Dragonstone thing, which, like, in the video, Zoran said, like, this isn't good, but it's fun. And then people cite that to be like, Kana's not actually as bad as you say. That's the other thing, is, like, in the modern era of everyone being usable, so many people conflate bad with unusable, but, like, truthfully, no Fire Emblem unit is really unusable, unless you're, like, Bantu. I'm a Jonas Truther in reverse mode. J. Jonas Jamerson. Our Jonas, something happened to him called Enemy Dancer and Bow Unit. I didn't think the Enemy Dancer strategy would actually work. So he got bowed to death. Jonas is dead. Yeah, that's, it was unfortunate, but it was very funny. Three Houses is an example where folks can oftentimes just be dumped into a good class, even someone like Ash. Yeah, Ash has Ash has an easy path to Wyvern is sort of his big appeal, right? I don't even think Ash is in the bottom 5. I think he probably is, but that's just off of, like, I haven't put too much thought into it. Because Anna's better than Ash, right? So it's mostly just Teachers and Mercedes that are gonna be worse than Ash. Gilbert, Hanneman, maybe Manuela. But Manuela does have warp, even if it's like a shitty warp you don't need. The faculty sucks. They do suck. I think Caspar is worse than Ash. What does Caspar even do besides go into Brawler and use Fierce Iron Fist? Like, genuinely, what is his purpose? Not memeing, just asking. Hashtag just asking questions. Like, does he have, like, a Wrath build or something? Ash is just basically the same unit as Caspar. Yeah, it's Brawler. It's like easy path into Brawler versus easy path into Wyvern, right? I do think Brawler's probably better if you're gonna be in there and not have a combat art. Like, Wyvern's a better class if you have a good combat art, but I do think you'd probably rather be a Brawler if you don't have anything else going for you, because you get Fierce Iron Fist, whereas, like, Wyvern doesn't get anything. With an Authority Bane, Sniper is better than Brawler. I think Sniper is better than Brawler, that's true. And Ash can just go Sniper. No, so you're probably right. I think they're close, though. I think Sniper and Brawler are very close. I loathe Three Houses for making the decision to have all infantry stuck at 5 move. Wait, are they really? Like, even promoted? There's no 6 move infantry? Wait, that's actually awful. I just remembered he has half of Heartseeker as his personal. Oh, you know what? I'm a big enough fan of hit rates that for me, I think that's the difference maker. I agree with you that Sniper is better than Brawler, but I think they're close. And I think Heartseeker is awesome. So even 50% of Heartseeker is awesome.